You know his rage, you've seen his face. But what turned a man of honor into a demon of vengeance? This is the story of Kazan Yamaoka The Oni. Kazan Yamaoka was born into Legacy, a descendant of a great samurai, Renjiro Yamaoka. Kazan was raised to believe in honor, strength, and pride. But his heritage was also a burden. People mocked him behind his back, calling his revered ancestor Oni Yamaoka a demon, a monster. Kazan resented the insult, even if Renjiro's brutality on the battlefield had earned it. Still, he trained relentlessly, perfecting his body and spirit. He would redeem the Yamaoka name, not with legend, but with action. And action came, swift and bloody. As Kazan matured, he saw a Japan infected with weakness. Daimyos bowed to foreigners. Peasants forgot their place, and so Kazan took up his blade, not for war, but for cleansing. He traveled the countryside, hunting down imposters, samurai who paid for titles, cowards who betrayed Bushido, and nobles who shamed for their ancestry. Each kill was swift, precise, until there were too many. Villagers spoke in whispers of a demon in samurai armor, one who slaughtered the dishonorable under the cover of night. But this wasn't the honor Kazan had hoped for. This was infamy, and his father turned his back on him. When Kazan returned home, expecting support, his father was waiting. Renjiro denounced his son's bloodthirsty crusade, told him he had shamed the Yamaoka name, ordered him to commit seppuku to preserve what little dignity remained. But Kazan would not die on his knees. In a single motion, he cut his father down. The man he had idolized, whose shadow he could not escape, lay at his feet in silence. And Kazan fled, hunted by those who once hailed him as kin. Wounded, hunted, and betrayed, Kazan disappeared into the mountains. His rage festered, his honor twisted. He abandoned his name, no longer Kazan. He became what they had always called him, Oni. There, far from the world, he gave in to bloodlust, a monster clad in armor tearing through any who dared cross his path. His humanity peeled away, piece by piece, until only the wrath remained. And then, the fog found him. The entity welcomed the Oni with open arms, his fury, his bloodshed, his transformation. It was everything the entity desired. Now, he walks among slaughterhouses and silent temples, a nightmare clad in steel, wielding a kanabo soaked in legacy and vengeance. He's not driven by mercy nor redemption, only wrath. And when you hear his roar and feel the tremble of his change, you'll know. You stand in the presence of a demon once called man. Kazan Yamaoka is dead. Only the Oni remains. But there's more to Kazan's legacy than vengeance. His bloodline continued. Generations later, it would run through the veins of a young woman named Rin Yamaoka, a student, a daughter, and eventually, a killer. Rin lived in a different age, yet her story echoed his: loss, betrayal, and violent transformation. When her father snapped and slaughtered their family in a fit of despair, Rin rose not as a victim, but as vengeance incarnate. The spirit, graceful and spectral, where the Oni was thunder and fury. Two killers separated by time but bound by blood now walked the fog side by side. The entity had brought them home. If you enjoyed this dive into the rage-fueled story of the Oni, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know which killer or survivor you'd like to see next. And remember, where honor ends, the blood path begins.